is up? Hopefully you guys are having a wonderful day. Back with some more Final Fantasy VII Rebirth gameplay for you. And here I have the second part of the demo, getting through this right now because in about a week the whole game is going to drop. But today I'm going to be talking about the thing that dropped recently, yesterday, was the reviews. And normally when you have reviews drop within a week before something releases, or even sometimes even way before that, it's usually a good sign. And this is definitely a good sign because, well, the reviews were really good. When you hit a 90 on the Metacritic or over a 90, you usually are doing something pretty well. And this game currently is around at a 93. I think it's the second highest Final Fantasy ever, only behind 9. But anytime you're in that 90 range, you're definitely doing something well. So that's always a good sign. And as I said, can't wait to jump into this thing, but I was curious. I want to see what the things people liked about was, and as well as things maybe they didn't quite care for as much. You know, there's a lot more to like than dislike, but overall, the things that I got from this game is that it is a very, very, very massive game. I mean, yeah, I've mentioned it's 145 gigs, but massive in how much stuff you have to do. Maybe too much stuff to do. Yes, having too many things to do is not necessarily a good thing. It's kind of like when I bought all the systems one time in my lifetime during a generation. I think it was the Wii 360 and PS3. I was like, oh, this is great. This is excellent. Well, then you got to have the time to play all the games. And even though back then I didn't necessarily have responsibilities I do now as an adult, it still was damn near impossible to have the time to play all these games roughly at the same time. But nonetheless, getting back to Final Fantasy VII Rebirth here, there's a lot of things. And I think the one thing I heard was there's a lot of mini games. Now, I have no problem with mini games because sometimes they hit and sometimes they miss. Something like Triple Triad from 8 is definitely one of those ones that hit. I definitely enjoyed the Blitz Ball from 10. But then you have some that just, they're just not up into my thing. I've never been a crazy chocobo racer person, but I get it, I understand it. I just hope these things are fun, entertaining, and because they're going to probably have some of the important items you need to get behind some of these mini games. That's just how they always are. But hopefully they're more on the Triple Triad style of fun instead of I'm trying to think of what that game was from. Minigame from Final Fantasy 9 where you had to what was it? Where you had to basically, I think you're on a chocobo and you're trying to dig up all the things in time. That just wasn't one of the ones that I personally liked a lot. Characters, stories, and stuff like that. That was a strength of remake, so I had no question that was going to be a good thing. I loved the interactions between the characters. I loved how they went really in depth with them. I like how they interact with each other within a whole party. I have to say that within a whole party because unfortunately the last Final Fantasy didn't understand the whole concept of party camaraderie. They just had one person interacting with each other. And one thing I did hear that did make me pleased to hear, because I was a little bit worried about this, was a lot of the side quests have you interacting with a very specific character from your party to go along with it. So the side quests don't feel more like, hey, it's just Cloud walking up to someone doing a quest and barely anyone really interacts. You have a specific other person, or maybe Cloud goes with Barrett on a quest and interacts with Barrett, or maybe a quest pertains with more Aerith more, but makes it more specific and dynamic, so it's not this generic go here, do this for something. And not all of them, it just said a good portion of them, so that's something good because I don't want to have so many. I know it's impossible to have none, but I don't want to have too many generic quests. I want to have quests to have some importance as well as some interactivity between you and the party, as well as the whole party dynamic in terms of fighting, the symmetry. I really got to relearn how to do all this stuff because I definitely struggled playing this part 2 of the demo, especially with the final boss of it at this part 2 demo of Junin. But they basically beat the brakes off me, but I definitely got to learn how to do that. But there's so much stuff I got to relearn, the symmetry, how to change, because that's the thing they said is you just can't be Cloud and expect to do anything in this game. You got to switch between multiple party members, use the ones that have the advantage against the enemy, and really get that down pat. And I really think that makes the combat so much more extreme and epic because you just can't be lazy. You just can't be lazy and swing the Buster Sword all day and think it's going to get you anywhere. And I like that because it makes all characters valuable and useful in this whole thing. The world, as I said, we've seen some of the trailers. It looks so big. As I said, the only things that I've seen in terms of reviews, and I guess the good thing is they said they weren't too monotonous, is like you'll have moments where you have to traverse things with certain characters that can only traverse a certain thing, and sometimes they got a little bit to the point where it's kind of like padding, but not to a monotonous thing. So that's a good sign. That's something I didn't want to have an overwhelming amount. I know there's going to be some of it, but I just not a crazy amount. And the only other thing that I heard, and this is probably the big thing everyone's always worried about with this, is the ending. Now, I've heard some of the reviews say they kind of botched this. I don't know what that means until I personally see it myself, but, unfortunately, I have to get through a whole massive game with so much to do before I can even get to that point, let alone actually wait till the game comes out. But overall, it's nice to see Final Fantasy, reviewed this well, looked at this highly well, and hopefully when the actual game comes out, we can experience what a lot of these people have already experienced beforehand. But I'm definitely excited. I definitely can't wait. Can't wait to see all the cool interactions, all the added depth they add to certain scenes. Hopefully most of the mini games are fun. The world just looks so massive. Even though it's a world we know and love, it looks so massive. Getting used to the combat system again. There's so much detail. As I love doing the symmetry attacks, combining, see who you can combine with who, and just constantly swapping between the party, see what party members have a advantage against certain enemies. But overall, yeah, I can't wait. I just wonder if I'm going to have all the time to be doing this stuff. So if you don't see me making too many videos and content within the next few weeks, you know why. I'm basically lost in the world of Final Fantasy VII. And that's not a bad place to be lost in. But nonetheless, that's my opinion looking at some of these reviews. But I want to hear your guys' opinion. Did the reviews make you feel even better? Are you still someone that just, wants to see it for themselves? Are you someone who's still a little bit, maybe you weren't the biggest fan of the remake and you're just wondering how everything's going to go down? Or maybe you just like, man, I'm ready to take my money, let's get it on. But nonetheless, that is going to be it. Hopefully you guys did enjoy this video. And hopefully I can see you guys back on the next one. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day. And I hope to see you all later. Peace.